Facebook viewers, our Instagram viewers, and also our LinkedIn viewers as well. My name is Amos, and I'll be going through with you guys today our migration program to Australia and to Canada. So yeah, the agenda for today, we'll be doing our company introduction, Australia's skilled migration, then Canada's skilled migration, and any question and answers from the room and also from our online viewers. Right? Okay, so AIMS Immigration, we've been around since 2006, and right now we have expanded our footprints to 13 offices throughout about 10 countries. And also we offer an entire suite of services from skilled migration, business migration, investors migration, passport programs, and also relocation services. So our mission and vision, our vision is to be a leading and reputable migration and relocation provider in Asia Pacific, recognized for our professionalism and service excellence. And our mission is to achieve clients' migration and relocation goal through our specialized and dedicated team. Our core value is push. I do understand in terms of migration stuff, our clients tend to like to procrastinate, or you guys might have the idea of migrating, but you kind of put it off for years. So being pushed, and our core value being pushed, we want to push our clients to achieve their dream as soon as possible, because for migration policies, all those could change could change tomorrow, or could change in a month, or could change in a year. So being pushed is very, very important. So here's our overseas presence. We have offices in Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Manila, KL, Hanoi, Yangon, Phnom Penh, Jakarta, Kuching, Perth, and Adelaide as well, with Singapore being our HQ. So in AIMS in 2020, we have about 300 migration professionals in all of our offices. 13 offices in 10 countries, migration to more than 20 destination countries, and also we've helped about 18,000 family move throughout our last 14 years. So migration today we're going to focus more on Australia and Canada. We do provide migration to Caribbean countries, European countries, Oceanic countries, and also to the North America. So our services, like I mentioned earlier on, skilled workers program, investors program, student visa, corporate relocation, citizenship, family visas, employer sponsorship, and also to entrepreneurs as well. So why choose AIMS? So we do provide a full spectrum of services, not just from your migration services to your relocation as well. We have a dedicated consultant who will be with you throughout your entire journey with us in your migration journey. We give professional advice, and we do keep ourselves updated on all the latest migration news that's available. And also offices across Asia, you might relocate to other countries, and if let's say you do have offices, then you can actually seek help from those offices as well. So for Canada, migration, for Australian migration, we are registered with the migration agent registration. So yeah, that one is our MARA number over there. And for Canada, we are represented by a lawyer who's under the Quebec MARA. So why Australia and Canada? I think for the last few years, they have been almost out of the 10 countries, Australia and Canada hold 3 spots each in the most livable countries, mainly Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto, Sydney, Adelaide, and Melbourne as well. So for this survey, what do they rate? They rate their stability, healthcare, culture, environment, education, and also the infrastructure for the country, for the cities. Right? So we're going to go more in depth into Australia. Right? So Australia. Why Australia? Because of their ease of doing business and equal employment opportunities. They do have world-class education, so I'm pretty sure you've heard your friends going over to Australia to further their studies after they finish their O-levels or their poly. And quality of life as well. It's a bit more. There's more work-life balance over there compared to most of the other countries. So for Australia education, if you are a PR over there, if you're not a PR over there, the cost of it is probably in New South Wales like 13,000 from 5 to 11 years old, 14,000 from 12 to 15, and 16,000 for about 16 to 18 years old. And total, it's going to cost you about 180,000. And if you're a PR, it's going to be free for you guys and your kids. So healthcare, average cost for C-section in Australia is about 14,000. And if you're a PR, the cost will probably range from 0 to 1,000, $5,000. So salary in Australia as well, minimum wage in Australia is about $740 per week, and minimum hourly wage is about $19. And blue collar workers like technicians, bricklayers, plumbers, their salary ranging from about $40 to $100 an hour. for houses and cars as well. For house, if you were to look at getting a house about 3,000 square feet, it's going to cost about 3 million in Singapore, whereas in Australia, it's going to cost about 360,000. And for cars wise, I mean, we all know the COE is crazy. And for a brand new car, you're probably looking at about 70 to 80,000 upwards. And recently, the COE was like 40,000. The car itself, when you buy it, is about 20 to 22,000 for a first-hand car. And there's no limit to, or there's no duration to how long you can own the car. All right. So we're going more in depth into the program already. So for this general skilled migration program, there are a couple of types of visa that you're actually able to achieve. Three mainly being the 190 visa, the 189 visa, and also the 491 visa. So 189 and 190, they are skilled, they are independent and nominated visas. They are permanent residency that allows you to travel, enter, and remain in Australia permanently. Whereas for the 491 is regional. This is a provisional visa allowing you to do the same as well, work and remain in Australia for 5 years before applying for a PR with conditions applied. So for 491 visa, you need to abide to the condition to work and live in a regional area for 3 years. After that, you will be eligible to get your permanent visa via the subclass 190. Then road swapping is allowed, and what do I mean by road swapping? If you are going over as a couple, either one of you can fulfill this role, and you will still be able to be eligible for your PR afterwards. Okay. Common criteria for a skilled migration program. The main applicant has to be between the age of 18 to 44. You must pass a skill assessment. A skill assessment is actually according to what you work as. There will be assessing authorities that will judge you based whether you are of Australia standards. You need to have a competent English or higher. There's a couple of English tests you might be able to take. IELTS General, IELTS Academic, or PTE. You must satisfy the medical and character requirements via medical checkups and also police reports check. And then you must meet the passing mark of 65 points for the points test itself. So what points test am I talking about? So this points test is going to take into account a lot of the basic human factors. So age, English language, qualification, and overseas skill employment being a couple of them. So for age, if you are from 18 to 24 years old, you get 25 points. Maximum points is at 25 to 32. If you are from 33 to 39, you get 25 points again, and the lowest age group that you get for your age itself is 40 to 44, where you get only 15 points. English language, competent English language gets you 0 points. Proficient gets you 10, and superior gets you 20. And for your qualification-wise, if you have a doctorate, that's the highest, you get 20 points. At least a bachelor's or master's, you get 10. If you have a diploma or trade certificate, you get bachelor's, you get 15. Diploma and trade certificate, you get 10. And then for overseas skilled employment, so it's anywhere outside of Australia. For 3 years, you have 5. For 5 years, you have 10. And for 8 years, you have 15 points. Right? If you have worked in Australia as well, if you manage to study in Australia and after that you are able to work there for a couple of years, you do get additional point for 5, 10, 15, and 20 for 1, 3, 5, and 8 years respectively. Other factors that might come into play, if you study in Australia for 2 years full-time onshore, study in a regional area in Australia also net you 5 points. Professionally in Australia for at least 12 months in the 4 years before you were invited to apply gets you 5 points as well. Accredited in the community language, so if you're able to get a translation test done, you get additional 5 points. If you're moving as a single applicant, you automatically get a 10 point. If you're looking with a partner, your partner would have to contribute the English test as well and also a skill assessment done for him to get 10 points. If you don't want to do the skill assessment and you just want to get the English done, he will be able to get 5 points for you. So specialist education has to be done in Australia in major like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So last one with the state or territorial nomination. So for the visas that's outside of 189, for 190 visas you get additional 5 points, and if you choose to go via the 491, you get additional 15 points to your profile. Right. So this is a recap for the different visa types. For 189, where can you settle down? Anywhere in Australia. For 190, in the state or territory, and for 491 skilled regional, only in regional and designated area. Okay? State sponsorship is not required for 189 visas and 491, where it's required for the 190, and then the regional one is only for 491. So for 189, don't need any sponsorship. Okay? And what will you get For 189 and 190, both will be permanent residency visa, whereas for 491 skilled regional, it will be a 5 years provisional visa. Right? So this is a timeline where you, if you were to engage us to help you with it, first you consult with AIMS, then you do a preparation of your documentation and for your skill assessment, it will take about 3 to 5 months. And then once we're done with that, we do your expression of interest, or if you need to, if you're going for 190 or 491 visa, you will do your state nomination and your regional relative sponsorship respectively. It will take about 3 to 5 months again. Lastly, you will be approved, and then you will do your visa application, where it takes about 9 to 12 months for you to fulfill. So all in all, you're looking at about 2 years after the application, you will get your visa, and then you can start living in Australia as well. Okay, benefits of PR in Australia. If you're looking to go to New Zealand to retire, for Australia-wise, once you have the PR, you are actually able to move to New Zealand and work and stay there. However, that cannot be said. This cannot be the same for New Zealand PR. You're not able to do the other way around, right? So that is for Australia migration program. So next, we're going to go into Canada. For Canada, in the last 2 recent draw, they have been drawing at the highest number of the largest ever draw in history since the program inception at 5,000 draw. Previously, you can see they are at 4,005, 4,002, and also 3,003. So for Canada, they are looking at ramping up their migration efforts and getting a lot of people over. In the news itself, from 2021 to 2023, previously they were looking at about getting 1 million migrants over. But after the pandemic and all, they know that migrants or getting productivity in the country is essential of getting them out of recession. So just recently, they increased by another 20% of the total overall. From 1 million that they're looking to bring over, they're looking at 1.2 million instead. So as you can see, it's reflected on the amount of draw they're doing already with the 5,000, where they increase a lot of people, a lot of draws in getting the migrants over. Okay. So why Canada? Beautiful sceneries, quality of education as well. So I think Canada, they have the highest graduates or diploma, those who are clients, citizenship who has degree. I think almost more than 50% of their citizens being degree holders. Free world-class medical services. Same for the first dollar onwards, your healthcare will be provided by the country, and also cost of living. So it's almost pretty similar. To get a house or to get a bungalow or to get a semi-D in Canada, it probably costs about $314,000 instead of in Singapore. Again, it's going to cost about 2 to 3 million already. And for cars itself, again, it's about 20 to 22,000 for a first-hand car. So jobs in Canada, some of our clients who wish to go to Canada will be asking us, will they be able to look for jobs? Will they be able to find jobs? And so in Canada, they are desperately looking to fill about 430,000 vacant jobs. Okay. So for Canada points test, by a points test system, these are some of the factors that they are going to look at when they are selecting your points. So age, education, English, work experience, arranged employment, and adaptability are some of the factors that they look at. Okay. For Canada Express entry, the main applicant has to be 18 years old and above. You need to have at least 1 year of continuous full-time paid work in the last 10 under the occupation listing N 0, A or B. The main applicant must also score 6 minimally in all components, being listening, reading, writing, and speaking in the IELTS general test. The main applicant must also have at least a high school diploma. Your main applicant has to pass the medical clearance and also the police clearance as well. And you need to get at least 67 points in this test to be eligible. So if you get anything lower than 67, you will not be able to apply for this program. Okay. So after that program, after you receive 67 points, you're going to go through another points test as well. This is called the comprehensive ranking system. This is upon 1,200 points. This one will give you an indication of what are your chances of moving over. So you do take into age, level of education, English proficiency again, and if you have any Canadian work experience, maximum at 100, 140, 128, and 70 points for merit. And if you are a single applicant, 110 points, 150, 160, and also 80 points. For your spouse, they can contribute 10, 20, and 10 points for their level of education, English proficiency, and also if they have worked in Canada before. Okay. Skill transferability for post-secondary credential of 1 year or longer. So if I put it into Singapore terms, this will be equivalent to an A-level and then university. This would qualify you for post-secondary credentials. If you want to qualify for 2 or more, if you go through diploma, degree, you consider as 2 or more. If you have degree or masters, they will consider as 2 or more. Okay? And with your English proficiency at the CLB 9, which is 8777, you will get 50 points, the maximum points. For working experience, if you have 3 or more years of working experience, you will get 50 points as well. Okay? Additional points that you are able to achieve. If your brothers or sisters living in Canada, they will net you 15 points. If you do speak French, it will net you 50. If you have done any post-secondary education like diploma or degree or masters in Canada, it will get you another 30 points. Arranged employment will get you 200, and also if you choose to go by the provincial nomination program, it will give you an additional 600 points. Okay. So the timeline for going through with us for Canada is you engage with AIMS and then complete the education assessment, after which you will apply for your express entry. Then if you do need the 600 points from the PNP program, the provincial nomination program will help you with this application as well. Then you will receive your ITA. Once your ITA is done, you fulfill your police clearance, your medical clearance, and the visa fees, then we will launch a visa application for you. And then after that, you will get a visa grant and your Canada permanent residency, your residency. Okay. So this is what you get when you get selected for the Canada migration program. So this is the confirmation of permanent residency in Canada. Right? Okay. So Canada is one of the most powerful passports in the world. Free visa, travels to 117 countries, and the requirement also the lowest out of all the countries that we go in terms of getting a citizenship. You just need to stay 3 years, 1,995 days in Canada, and you'll be able to apply for citizenship. Okay. So, any questions for you guys?
I have a question. So I think for Australia and Canada, we had a portion about the main applicant and the point system, which is the partner can fulfill certain things with you plus 5 points or plus 5 points.
Yes, that's right.
The main applicant point system doesn't also apply to the partner?
Main applicant point system applying to the partner?
If you can go to the slide, or would it be?
You're talking about Australia, right?
Yeah, Australia's fine.
So yes. So this is for the partner.
But then, like all this point systems will also have to apply for the partner applying as well?
No. So for the partner themselves, if let's say you guys are accompanying each other, right? For example, husband and wife. If the husband is the main applicant and the wife is the secondary, the wife will contribute a maximum of 10 points. 5 points for doing the English test, and another 5 points if you do your skill assessment.
So that will be contributing to his, for example,
correct, to his profile.
Okay, so what do I have to fulfill in my own points test?
For your own points test,
just that?
Yeah, just that. Unless if let's say you're able to do your skill assessment as well, we will put in a separate application, which you will be the main applicant and your partner being the secondary applicant as well. So we'll follow suit accordingly.
Oh, I see, okay.
Okay. So for Canada-wise, it's also the same. So if let's say both of you guys are qualified, eligible to do the test, we'll actually put into application for you guys with you being the secondary applicant to each other's application. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we've come to the end of the seminar. After which a consultant will be assigned to you to go through with you guys more in depth on your own personal profile. All right. And so thank you everyone from Facebook, IG, and also from LinkedIn. Hope to see you guys next year.